In this video, I am going to talk about the adventure, comedy, Isekai anime series Moonlit Journey Across Another World. So spoiler alert. But before we start, please subscribe to the channel. God named Tsukimichi appears. He tells Miss Yumi Makoto that he is going to transfer him to another world to become a hero. Before transfer, he grants him some abilities and suggests being nice to another world goddess. The other world goddess deems Makoto too ugly, makes fun of him. She gives him the ability to understand all other languages and throws him into wasteland infested with non-humans and monsters. After wandering the wasteland for 3 days continuous, Makoto heard someone calling for help. He immediately rushes toward, saves young orc girl Emma from a two-headed wolf monster which he kills by single kick. Emma introduces herself and explains she was supposed to be a sacrifice to the god Shen to dispel the fog around her village so crops can grow. She takes him to her village where she teaches Makoto how to use magic. Makoto decides to destroy Shen, a giant dragon who uses the fog to create illusions. He attacks with his magic. Shen traps Makoto inside an illusion of a happy memory, but after examining his other memories becomes intrigued by his memories of Japan. Makoto breaks the illusion. Shen offers to make a contract with him to become familiar. Makoto agrees and they form a contract with Shen to transform into a busty samurai girl. Shen teleports Makoto to the alternate dimension where she normally lives. She tells, it seems different from the original dark, an empty space, somehow it resembles Japan's countryside. Makoto returns with Shen. He informs the orcs he defeated Shen and made contract with her. Later that night, Shen offers orcs to come and live at demiplane. In the morning, everyone comes with their belongings and is ready to leave. Shen teleports them along with the village. They start farming and construction on demiplane. Shen continues watching Makoto's memories and decides to build a TV so she can store his memories. She goes to search material for TV. In the next scene, a dwarf is being chased by a monster. Shen returns with an injured dwarf, explaining their dimension is being attacked by a spider called Black Disaster. In the fight with the spider, Makoto got injured, but somehow he managed to completely obliterate the spider and collapses due to the use of lots of his mana. Shen suggests spiders if she wants to stay with him she can form a contract. Spider agrees with that. They perform contract while Makoto is still unconscious. Makoto wakes up and finds he has a new, similarly busty female servant. The dwarf from earlier reveals himself Biren, an elder dwarf capable of crafting artifacts. He requests Makoto if he could allow him to move his village into demiplane. Makoto allows him instantly. Shen and the spider request personal names, so Makoto renames Shen Tomo after Tomo Gozen and names the spider Mio. Makoto discovers Tomo and Mio went recruiting, and his village is now populated by orcs, dwarves, mist lizards, and Aki spiders. Makoto returns to the normal world and finds a human village, but they attack him. Tomo explains humans got scared because Makoto's magical aura is so strong. They probably mistook him for a demon lord. After a month, Makoto learns the human language and having the dwarves craft items to suppress his aura. Along with Tomo and Mio, Makoto enters human village posing as merchants. They register at an adventurers guild. Tomo and Mio break records by being 4 times as powerful as the next strongest adventurer, while Makoto, due to his suppressed aura, ranks level 1, weaker than a child. Makoto notices aside from hotels, the price of commodities is also unusually high in the town. Tomo prepares to foil a night attack on their wagon. While buying food, Makoto and Mio are approached by a young girl. She reveals her name Reinen and her sister Toa has been missing from her work. Tomo confronts the thieves, but kills 3 by accident and captures a 4th. Reinen sketches her sister Toa. After investigating the thief's memory, Makoto determines the location, where thief holding Toa captive, and sends Mio and Tomo to retrieve her. Makoto is concerned Toa resembles a girl named Hasegawa he knew in Japan. Mio and Tomo locate Toa. Mio heals her injuries, but when they are about to leave, Mills Ace, the current strongest adventurer, approaches them. Reinen sneaks away and tells the thieves Makoto's wagon was full of expensive and strange fruit, but he has already sold it. The thieves insist she steals Makoto's gold to pay her sister's debts. The thieves' secret leader, Mills, reveals a demon lord recently approached the city and had a bounty placed on its head, so he wants Mio and Tomo to help hunt it. Reinen decides she can't steal from Makoto. Mio and Tomo defeat Mills and his thieves. After defeating Mills, Mio and Tomo start competing to see who defeated the most enemies and destroys the city. Makoto praises Mio and Tomo for rescuing Toa, but then violently blasts them back to the wasteland as punishment. With help of Tomo's power, they alter everyone's memories, so everyone believes a monster horde destroyed Zitsaya. Receptionist tells Makoto, as Zitsaya's guild was destroyed he must re-register in Saige, the next closest town. Makoto tricks Tomo and sends her into training alone in the wilderness. Along with Mio and other adventurers, Makoto left for the next town. On their way, they kill many monsters. Makoto kills rare ruby eye ants which Toa harvests for valuable parts. Makoto re-register in Saige and takes a special quest posted by Rembrandt Rating Company. Makoto celebrates his journey with adventurers Luisa the Elven Archer, Hazel the Human Alchemist, and Renina the Dwarf Priest Knight. As the request he took earlier, Toa warned him that Rembrandt has a bad reputation. Mio and Makoto return to the village Emma report on their progress. The Aki are settling in the mountains, the dwarves have begun constructing buildings, and the mist lizards clearing farmland, while the orcs have begun constructing Makoto a castle. Makoto takes the ruby eyes to Rembrandt. But because of Makoto's low level, the manager, Patrick Rembrandt, is dismissive until he sees the ruby eyes. Patrick apologizes for his early behavior. He reveals that he needs the eyes to make ambrosia in order to save his wife and daughters cursed by a witch doctor. Makoto goes to register as a merchant. Guild receptionist explains to Makoto he needs to pass 2 exams for registration. The first one is written, and the second is practical. Makoto passes the written exam easily as it is basic middle school mathematics. The second test is to gather 4 dangerous items, but he takes advantage of a rule saying he can substitute items of equal value and substitutes the ruby ants. Makoto returns to the demiplane, where he explains Tomo fragment about the illusion city. Plans to trick traveling merchants into thinking the demiplane is a hidden city, trade for demiplane items, and then return home, creating a demand for demiplane products. At night, Makoto decides to sleep alone because Mio and Tomo offer him to choose any one of them to sleep. Patrick secretly has the witch doctor who cursed his family killed. At Makoto's request, Hazel agrees to brew the ambrosia. Makoto enters Patrick's wife, Lisa's room, who has become a monster. She attacks him, but Makoto is able to restrain her, and Patrick successfully administers the ambrosia. They use the same method to cure Patrick's daughters. Makoto returns to Tomo and Mio, but they are attacked by the adventurer, Lime Lat, and his numerous allies. Makoto and Tomo defeat all enemies. Lime claims he only wanted a sleeping curse put on Lisa and her daughters. He explains it all started when he met a witch doctor at his favorite bar, as revenge for Patrick preventing adventurers who displeased him from finding further work. He agreed with his plan and has no idea why the witch doctor actually cursed them into monsters. After that, Lime apologizes to Patrick. Patrick decides to let him live, and Lime retires from adventuring. Tomo gives Lime a katana forged by the dwarves and hires him to spy for her. At Demiplane, Emma explains the warriors in the village are depressed after training with Makoto. Makoto learns it is his fault, as during training he overwhelms them so completely they lose their self-confidence. He also realizes the various species don't reign with each other, so he arranges weekly competitions, inspiring them to strengthen themselves and each other. And also introduce a demiplane ranking system. Mio and Tomo re-register as adventurers. Guild requested Makoto's party to train new and adventure as replacement of Limelat, who has retired. Makoto suggests Toa's name as replacement. He asks Tomo to train her, though Tomo is troubled as she knows Toa resembles the girl from Japan and worries Makoto misses his former life. Tomo puts Toa and her team through a brutal training regime. To test their new abilities, Tomo orders them to defeat a nest of 108 monsters. They defeat monsters and prove themselves strongest in town. Makoto asks Mio if she could find ambrosia flowers, the flowers eaten by the ruby ants that make their eyes valuable. Makoto decides to rent shop space from Patrick. Patrick realizes Makoto wants to rent as buying would bring him to the attention of the Tsuige Kingdom, which Makoto does not want to do. Patrick agrees to arrange a shop space for Makoto in a neutral city not allied to any kingdom. The village throws a party to celebrate Makoto opening his trading company. Akine reveals they have located ambrosia flowers in the outside world. Mio and Tomo sense Makoto's presence has been disappeared and returns quickly. They rush towards where Makoto is training. Tomo explains when Makoto clears his mind to focus on the target, he unintentionally merges with the environment and dies for a split second, which feels to Tomo and Mio like he has committed suicide. Tomo tells Makoto's mana has to increase to God's level. If the goddess learn about that, we'll see him as a rival and try to kill him. Makoto returns to the human world and is approached by a prostitute, so he is dragged away by the furious Mio and Tomo. They declare they are tired of waiting for him to grow up and will have sex with him immediately. Makoto panics and flees through a portal. The dwarves forge more powerful mana-suppressing equipment. Mio apologizes for her behavior, so Makoto invites her to help negotiate with the elves. In Elves' Forest, other adventurers also appear to steal the flower, one of whom is the prostitutes. Because of them, elves attack immediately. Makoto teleports the adventurers to the demiplane then defeats the elves. The elves, Aqua and Eris, agrees to escort Makoto to their village. Makoto meets Nilja Story and other elders. They tell him that they are forest orc, not elves. Nilja Story's son, Adono, further explains they are descendants of elves. He seems to be angry because the barrier protecting the forest is weakening. Makoto meets Aqua and Eris's master, Mondo, a powerful warrior. Later, Mio discovers Mondo is possessed by a spirit, and she also overheard a telepathic conversation between Adono and an unknown person about demons. Later, a spirit frees itself from Mondo's body and drains the life from Adono, killing him for associating with demons. Makoto identifies it as a lick and captures it. Tomo reveals she was the dragon who created the barrier at Ninja Story's request many years ago. In the investigation, the lick reveals he accidentally became a lick while trying to become a Grant, a human that can freely travel between alternate worlds. Tomo reveals he has it the wrong way around. Grants aren't humans who could travel, they are normal humans who accidentally traveled, and so earned the title of Grant. At Tomo's suggestion, he forms a contract with Makoto that turns Lick from a skeleton to a young and attractive man. A magical explosion occurs in the village, causing Tomo to collapse. At the explosion site, Makoto and Lick are able to heal the injured. Examining the memory fragments of the prostitute, Makoto sees that she and her comrades attempted to steal magical items, and when guards intervened, one of the rings full of Makoto's magic exploded, killing Tomo's child fragment and an orc. Makoto follows and mercilessly kills the prostitute in revenge. After the funerals, Makoto named Lick Shiki and asked Tomo. Back then he was able to use her powers. Shiki explains he was able to see the prostitute's memories because of master-servant contract. Makoto ordered to construct a wall around the villages for safety. Makoto visits Patrick, who has arranged Makoto's shop space in the neutral town of Rotsgard Academy. Makoto decides to attend Rotsgard Academy to learn more about the world, the goddess, and humans. He takes Shiki with him. He gives Mio and Tomo some memories as gifts. As he is about to teleport, the goddess suddenly locates Makoto and tampers with his teleportation, sending him to a distant battlefield where two demon warriors attack him and sever two of his fingers. Makoto asks them their names. They identify themselves as Sophia Bulger and Mitsurugi, the strongest adventurer in the world and the superior dragon. They explain they have joined the demon army to destroy humanity. Makoto removes his mana-suppressing equipment. Makoto overwhelmed Mitsurugi with his magic and shatter Sophia's legendary sword.
なんだ今のドワーフの武器すっご
あなたとことんでたらめね
Sophia grab Makoto and release him high in sky.
終わったか多分ねさあ魔族に進軍の合図を
Makoto used all his ring's power and manages to teleport away. Mitsurugi and Sophia survived and swears revenge. Patrick receives word of the army's destruction by a powerful mage, but doesn't realize it was Makoto. Shiki believes the goddess used Makoto to destroy the army and may be watching them. Tomo introduces Makoto to another fragment that she create using Makoto's mana from a discarded ring. Makoto named her Kamo. Mio is furious when Kamo calls Makoto Papa. Makoto finally opens a shop which is an instant success. He also learns, after he teleported away the demon and human armies did massive damage to each other, and that two other goddess summoned heroes took part in the battle. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, like, comment and share the video.